Hi, my name's Dan Corbett, and I'm the founder and managing partner of BlackIron Group. I'm here today to talk to you about using Salesforce for physician referral management, and then demonstrate the tool for an IMD med device client who sees referrals from orthopedists all around the country and then needs to track that information in the system. But first, a shameless plug. So we've been in business for 15 years, and for 15 years, we've helped customers refine their sales and service processes, extend their marketing reach, and automate and grow their business. That's kept customers and Salesforce coming back to us, and for that, we're very grateful. Particularly germane to today's conversation, we've also integrated with the vast majority of the EMR and EHR systems out there in the marketplace. And that includes guys like Practice Fusion or ECW, Epic, or Allscripts. If we haven't integrated to your system yet, we'd love to talk to you about it. There's probably a chance that we can get into that data and use it on the system. So data can help your sales reps understand and improve their practice management and referral mix. A PRM system can be a powerful tool for providers and device manufacturers to keep track of their patient referrals throughout the care continuum. And Salesforce Health Cloud is purpose-built for PRM. Using Health Cloud, you can help providers and manufacturers answer three kind of critical questions. Those are, what is the correlation of our educational events to referrals, right? How does our outreach affect our referrals? What physicians and practices are we adding to our network? Kind of how are we growing our reach? And of those practices, which of them are providing us with quality referrals? And I guess by contrast, which aren't? We can help your sales reps use the data, track complex relationships at these various practices, track and record the drop-ins and the visits and the educational events that are so much a part of their daily jobs. And then we can take that data, combine it with the referral information that we're getting from your EMR or EHR through integration, and help you to correlate those results against each other. We can do all that mobily using Salesforce's world-class mobile app. We can give the users the ability to enter that data, analyze that data, and make key data-driven decisions from their pocket. Let's see it in action. All right, so we're looking at a sample homepage for a Salesforce instance that I'm going to demonstrate today. And one of the things I want to try to say as many times as I can in this is that this is very flexible and very customizable. So this example is exactly that, just an example. The system is infinitely configurable and flexible, and we can make it look the way that we need it to look for users. In fact, we can have it look different for different sets or different types of users within the organization. In my demo instance, we're a med device manufacturer, right? We make IMDs, joint replacement devices. And so we're on the road a lot dealing with orthopedists every day. So there's a couple of key kind of pieces of information for us, right? I need to know what my referrals are. And since I have a bunch of different devices, I need to know them by product family. So I can see that information right on the home page, right? And so I know by my rep what product family is doing well and what reps kind of need some help to kind of be pushed in the right direction. I also need to know my referrals by practice, right? Which of my practices are physicians are providing good quality referrals to us and which aren't, and this becomes data that I can use in the system as well. I can integrate out to my Outlook or Gmail system, and so although this is a demo org, you would be able to see that data here, so you don't really need to enter email and then cross that into your CRM. It's basically going to do it for you. And then finally, I need to see what I'm up against for the day, and so that information is listed here in my today's task. Tabs across the top help you sort of navigate Salesforce, but the reality is most of the time, users are going to use the universal search, which is going to find every record in the system regardless of what object it's in or table it's in, and show that to me. So in this case, I'm going to jump into the account HSS Stanford Outpatient Center, and I'm going to see, again, another example, doesn't have to look like this, of a sample account. So I've got my kind of customer data listed here in the middle. And again, report snapshots tell me what my reps are doing out in the field. You can see all 5 of us are working on HSS at various times. You can see that I'm the only one that's got referrals here. You can see them by product family. Again, so essentially the same data we were looking at earlier at a macro level, we're looking at a much more micro level here. cases, any information that I can have this built out in the system so that if there are problems out in the field, I can be aware of those before I go to HSS so I can try to solve some of those problems, right? Rose had an issue with a kit. Rod had an insurance denial. My contacts are listed in the system. Again, all of the information coming out of my Outlook is listed here so I can see any of the kind of activities that I'm doing and any of the emails that I'm working through out in the system. That data is going to find its way into the record inside of Salesforce for me. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that on my own. Another thing my reps do an awful lot of is educational events, lunch and learns in this case, against a particular med device that, or one of our joint replacement devices. And so I can set those up as what are called campaigns in Salesforce, and then I can track those campaigns against referrals, right? So I have not only the referrals themselves, but who specifically attended the event and then ended up referring patients to us. So Connecticut Orthopedists is doing some good. HSS, of course, we know about. Meeks and Zilberfarb, Orthopedic Specialty Group. So I've got basic data out here against the campaign effectiveness, and that works against the people that I know too. So in this case, I invited, looks like 28 people, 8 declined, 8 attended, 8 never responded, and 4 said that they weren't gonna, they did say they were gonna come but didn't come. So I've got basically that information against my, so many of these lunch and learns are just throw money into a restaurant and hope for the best. Salesforce will allow me to kind of capture that information. Not only capture who came, but what happened as an end result. All right, I'm gonna go to Connecticut to go see HSS, but while I'm there, and this is another sort of typical example for account reps that are out in the field, I need to make use of that trip. So as long as I'm in Connecticut, I need to know what accounts I have out in Connecticut, and I need to make the most of that trip. Salesforce sells an overlay called Salesforce Maps that will allow me to visually see those on a map, but I can do so much more with that to plan my trip. So let's take a look at Salesforce Maps. All right, so here we have a view into Salesforce Maps, a really slick tool that sort of visually allows me to see spatial awareness and kind of where my accounts are. And if I hover over this particular pin, you can see where HSS Stamford is, down in Stamford, Connecticut. But you can see my territory runs from Boston all the way down into Westchester County. I want to make more of my trip than just kind of randomly going and see people. So I want to see the practices that I haven't visited. And if I lay that layer on, it draws another pin for me. Maybe I want to see the ones who are doing low volume with me, right? The clients that aren't spending or aren't getting a lot of referrals into the system for me. And I lay those pins on. And maybe finally, as long as I'm there, I want to go see my prospects, because as long as I'm going to Connecticut, I want to make this a trip where I'm going to get the most out of that trip. And so you can see all of these different layers that I've built out, lay this map out for me in a way that is very easy for me to understand. I know, for example, I've got to go see Specialty Surgery Center because I've never seen them. I should probably go and see Connecticut Children's Surgery Center because they're not doing a whole lot of referrals with us. And as long as I'm coming up here, I've got Kathy Snyder and Hartford that I can go see. Once I'm in a record, I can also get some more information. So if I click on Actions, I can take advantage of some other things within this group. I can add this to a route so I can go see them immediately. I can have the system take me there immediately using the mapping tool. I can add it to a schedule. So if I'm going to be there for a few days and I want to build out a schedule for a couple of days, I can add this to a schedule and put that together here. My point is I can take this mapping tool and really build out a robust trip to Connecticut to make the most out of seeing my customers. I can use data I've already got in the system about my referrals, about my visits, and about my prospects to make this trip data-driven, informed, and decisive. All right, let's go out on the road and take a look at our mobile app. Okay, Salesforce's award-winning mobile app, and basically this is the same data. It is the same database that we're using on the desktop. It's simply a different view in. No cache required, CACHE, and no syncing, none of that kind of crazy stuff that goes with some of these other systems. If I use the search function on the phone, it basically mimics the data that I've already seen, right? So you can see the campaign that I've already looked at. You can see my accounts. And so if I go into HSS Stamford, you can see the data that I've got in the system as well. I've got all the information about the record. But you can also use the tool to capture other data out in the system and use the correction support. So if I click post here, it's going to take me to a collaborative tool that allows me to work with the people back in the office. It's called Chatter, and it lets me communicate with the office while I'm in the field. So I'm going to ask Dawn, in this case, to help us out. I'm going to use regular speech to text on the phone and say, hey, Dawn, I need to get a case study to HSS possible, period. Can you help me, question mark? And you can see it grabs that information, coming right back to my instance of Salesforce and going to the chatter post. You can see that just now I sent that message and it finds its way in and goes right to Dawn. So out in the field, I'm carrying Salesforce in my pocket, and I'm able to communicate and collaborate with the tool mobily in the field with all my reps. All right, so all of that data that I've captured in the system for the activities is captured here in the system. All the data from the EMR system that I've captured through integration is captured here. I want to tie all that together. And so every piece of data that's in Salesforce is reportable, and every report in Salesforce is dashboardable, if that can be an actual word. And I can capture all that information in powerful dashboard like this one here. I can see what my referrals are by rep, by month, that information. I can see what my referrals are by product family, right? And how that data is kind of laid out. I can see what my activities are and see how those relate. So you can see kind of against 400, against 20, kind of in time period, I can start to see how my referrals are affected by my visits and vice versa. I can see information about the referrals by practice, right? Great information. You can see Greater Boston is really doing well for us. HSS is here in the top 6. And I can start to use that information to figure out who to go see. And more importantly, in my opinion, who were not getting referrals, right? So all these guys down here at the bottom are probably people, right? We'd seen Orthopedic Specialty Group when we were over in Maps. So I've got that information here in the system, and I can start to use that to figure out who I need to target and figure out what I need to do to get these reps on our side. So what we would love to hear from you. Please feel free to reach out to us at BlackIron by emailing us at info@blackirongroup.com or by calling me, Dan Corbett, 604-6765. Reach out directly to your Salesforce rep. We appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.